starting my leadership, my journey with leadership in the military, because there's an organization that can take people from all different backgrounds and ethnicities, and they don't care whether you're rich or poor, black or white, Catholic or Jew, and you would all die for each other, and you all wear the color blue, you know, or green, or whatever branch that you're in.
I love you military dudes. Like some of the best insurance agents I've ever seen, and I've noticed this, were ex-military. The way you guys talk about teams and leadership and how systemized things are.
We modeled the things that we do in our agency after the way that military people do it, because it's so systematized, right? Like that, it's the only way. Then you don't have to, it's not personalities, right? It's just like, hey, this is the way it works. If you don't, if it doesn't work for you, that's cool. Just not going to work here, right? Like,
well,
this is the system.
That's that making the implicit explicit, because as you know, kind of in the military, things are very structured.
Right.
What's good about that is it allows a foundation of clarity and empowerment and mindset for all the other environmentals that are ever ending and ever changing. So they can be hyper focused on doing their job right and working very much in a collaborative team. And you know, that's a key, because look, you guys know, and I know, and all the listeners out there, in the insurance industry, no matter what type of insurance you're selling, someone else is selling the same thing, and it's probably pretty close to the same price. But why are they going to buy it from you? Why are they going to buy it from your brand or your organization or you? And those are the compelling questions that you have to ask yourself before you get out there and start being responsible for people's lives, because they entrusted you with their insurance. I think we make a living by what we get, and we make a life by what we give. And that's key. That we should all be thinking about that every day. Like I said, we all came out of this pandemic. You know, clearly you can see I lack passion and I'm quite introverted. People have had 2 years to quantify what's important to them. And that is global. Right. And that is really changing up things right now. You know, with the workforce and with leadership, workforce is expecting far more from their companies. And frankly, companies, because the pace by which we're moving in a digital space, they expect far more from their workforce. So, you know, there's this constant tug and pull, and it's only the ones that are able to find alignment in this digital space that you see that are really thriving. And a lot of them, as we know, are starting to fail, fragmenting brick by brick.
It's almost like the pandemic was this reset button, you know?
Yeah.
It was like this, stop everything right now, and we're going to all freak out for a second, and then let's see who's going to go for it, you know? Yeah. And a lot of people went for it. I mean, we went for it. A lot of people tucked and hid, and they're probably, they're way behind now, you know? Yeah. And hopefully they can catch back up.
Yeah,
but
there was
definitely a huge opportunity.
It was like the Maslow's hierarchy of need. Like people really became self-actualized, like and started really looking within, like what really matters, right? Yeah. It's like everybody thinks that. That's why, you know, we've had many discussions recently about just working remote versus working in the office. I think there's huge benefits to both. I think that, you know, it no fault to anybody, but I mean, these are the questions that we have to ask now. And like, just people want different stuff, and we've been retrained, and now it's like, okay, these are the situations and experiences that we've all had, and now the old workforce is just not the same, and we need to evolve with it. I think that's why we're having a lot of these conversations.
You're spot on. You know, kind of I told you, we get the opportunity, whether it be in Bastion Transform, that's aligning heads of organizations and their workforce, or whether it be Bastion Agency in its totality that's aligning brands and their target audiences or consumers. You said something that I'm seeing it so clearly is you got many brands that have come out of this pandemic and they're trying to point the finger at, we all need to get back in the office, or no, we're 100% work from home, or we're some hybrid thereof. And the unfortunate part is that's where they're trying to put the head on the platter and put the blame, when unfortunately it's a far greater fundamental issue than that. It's a far greater issue, from people to process to our intrinsic motivations to, as I discussed, clarity and empowerment and mindset. And as much as they sound simple, oh man, they are complicated when you're talking about a complex organization with complex structures and
with people.
With people.
Humans. Right? I mean, dude, mindset with people, like shifting mindset is breaking cognitive dissonance. You know, like it's extremely difficult.
And then you exacerbate that by taking people in workforces from different ideologies and different backgrounds and different experiences and different technical capabilities and emotional responsibilities. And you merge all that together. Wow, you know, that it takes a lot. I'm forever grateful of maybe starting my leadership, my journey with leadership in the military, because there's an organization that can take people from all different backgrounds and ethnicities, and they don't care whether you're rich or poor, black or white, Catholic or Jew, and you would all die for each other, and you all wear the color blue, you know, or green, or whatever branch that you're in.
100%. What are probably the biggest problems that you're seeing across organizations as like trends? A couple of the biggest problems, and then a couple of the, you know, solutions of how they're making the biggest progress.
So for me, you know, when you look at trends in the insurance space specifically that I think are shaping the need for a digital transformation, or an insurance company, whether they're large or small, that haven't quite made that transformation, 3 key things are really kicking out. Number 1 is usage-based insurance. That's kind of changing the game. On-demand insurance, and integration of IoT, or for those out there who don't know IoT, Internet of Things. And, you know, McKinsey put a stat out there. In 2008, there were more network devices than there were people. By 2010, consumers owned about 12.5 billion of network devices, and there was only about 6.8 billion people out there. And in 2025, we're at about 8.1, 8.2 million people, whatever it is. We're at about 50 billion in network devices. So the network devices are going categorically off the charts. And, you know, that is the transfer, that what that boils down to is it's the transfer of unquantifiable volumes of data that is provided to third parties for real-time analysis, for triggers for insurance, for providers to alter offerings or services. And that is unprecedented. That is a space we've never lived in or been in, and I don't think everyone was really quite prepared for. So, you know, as far as helping companies make informed decisions as it relates to trying to do transformations, I think what a lot of companies will care about, whether the listeners want to hear this or not, but, you know, insurance companies, is risk assessment. You know, what's the P&L and what's the EBITDA of a big insurance company who's underwriting all this from a risk assessment standpoint. And the other one is conversion, net new revenues, pricing comps, coverage options, and lastly, communication. And communication, what I mean by that is the omni-channel communication with B2C, B to consumers, or B2P, B to people, as far as communicating to them in their space, in their place, in their time, at the right moment when they need insurance. What scientists do you go get to help you figure that out? You know, it's all of us are trying to figure that out together. That's uncharted space, but that's the space in which we're in and where we're going. And people can either, like I said, either choose to do something about it or play the ostrich and watch the amount of turnover that they're going to have in their workforce. Because employees of insurance companies are far too wise now of what they expect and what they want. They're very clear and speak with conviction, sitting at home for 2 years with a homework assignment on what's important to you.
I think it's interesting. I've been like, one of the things that's been rattling upstairs over the last year is the way things are going so fast with technology and AI and everything. It's giving the littler people, the littler business owner, the smaller business owner, that maybe even the solopreneur, enough tools where they can operate like a large company, but they're going to be a lot more closer to their clients, their products and everything else. So their decision making is going to be able to be quick, adaptable. And I just see so much leverage for the small business owner. But on the opposite side of that, I see, because of that, you have these larger corporations with multi-layered management and stuff. I don't know how they're going to keep up in 10 years, even 2 years, to be honest.
Isn't it interesting? Like, the solopreneur is going to could take down Goliath.
100%. I think so. Thank you. We really appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.
Take care.
Have a good one.
You too.